Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about music theory, specifically the name of the notes that we use in music, and also the name of the notes that we play on the electric bass. So the people who developed the musical system that we use had to make a few decisions. The first decision that they had to make was, how are they going to organize and separate the sound spectrum that we can hear as human beings? And what they decided to do was to divide music into cycles of 12 notes. They could have given these 12 notes any name they wanted. It could have been note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But they decided instead to use the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But that's a problem because there's 12 notes, but they're only using 7 letters. That means that there are going to be 5 notes that need to be named. So what they decided to do was to introduce 2 symbols, namely sharp and flat. What the symbol sharp does is it raises a note, a semitone. The next question is, what is a semitone? A semitone is the smallest distance that we play in modern music. For example, if I'm playing this note here, if I add a sharp, we're going to move it up 1 semitone. In the electric bass, the difference between 1 fret and another is a semitone, okay? And so if you have a note and you add the sharp symbol, you're going to move it up 1 semitone. If we look at it on a piano, very easy to see. That's a semitone. This distance from here to here is a semitone. If you use the flat symbol, what you do is you move down a semitone. So if I'm playing this note and I add the flat symbol, then I'm going to move it down a semitone. All right, so here we have a diagram with the 12 different notes. And what we're going to do is we're going to place the names. So now, as you can see, there are some empty spots. So between C to D, there's an empty spot. So that note can be named either C sharp or D flat. As we keep moving, we see that between D and E, it's another note that needs a name. You guessed it, D sharp, E flat. Then between F and G, we have another note which we can call F sharp or G flat. Between G and A, we have G sharp or A flat. And finally, A sharp or a B flat. Now, what are the names of these frets? We decided to tune the electric bass to a E. So this is an E string. Now, if we're looking at the diagram, the next note after an E is an F. So this fret, the first fret, is a F. Now, if we're looking at the diagram, after an F, we have a F sharp, which can also be called a G flat. Then we have a G. Then we have the G sharp, A flat, A, followed by A sharp, B flat. Then we have B, followed by C, then C sharp, D flat, then we have D, then D sharp, E flat, and finally E. So after 12 frets, the cycle begins again. So E and E. So knowing the cycle, then we can figure out what the name of the next notes are. Now, the next string, we tune it as an A. So right away, we should notice a pattern. The 5th fret is an A, and the next open string is an A as well. So that means that the 5th fret and the next open string are the same. So C is the same note, 5th fret, next open string, same note, okay? So that's the first pattern we noticed, actually the second, because the other pattern was open string is the same as the 12th fret, okay? So now we have open A, followed by A sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D flat, D, D sharp, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G flat, G, G sharp, A flat, A. And we can continue to figure out the rest on your own. Then the next string, we tune it as a D, right? Fifth fret is a D. Next string open is a D. So D followed by D sharp, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G flat, G, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D flat, D. Finally, the next string, we tune it to a G. So we have G, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D flat, D, D sharp, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G flat, and then G. Now, if you have a 5-string bass, you're going to have an extra string that's thicker, and that string is tuned as a B. If you have a 6-string bass, apart from the B, you're also going to have a high C. So I included the diagram for not only the 4-string bass, but also for a 5-string and for a 6-string bass. So I recommend you study it and look at it and try to figure out patterns, because as a bass player, you're going to want to know your way around the fretboard. And I also recommend using pen and paper and drawing the fretboard and try to figure out the notes. It's going to help you. It's a great exercise, and I highly recommend it.